right now. Yeah. If you're there, you can unmute and say hi, happy new month, so that we can know that you're alive and you're with us, you're not just logging in. So please just unmute for a second and say hi, so that we know you're here with us. Oh, thank you, thank you.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Everyone.
Hello.
Hi. Hello. Mukulu Collins.
Yes, sir.
How are you doing?
I'm very fine. I'm very fine.
Yeah. See, we have 1 minute to go, and then we can jump into our program today. We want to be in the time limit. It's from 8 to 9. So that's the one we're going to follow. We don't want to jump into things. I know right now semesters have begun and different people have things to do. Yes. Okay, yes. Again, I just want to say thank you for joining in. Today we'll be discussing the applying process. I would like to request.
Sorry, whoever who joins in, please try to mute. Whoever who joins, try to mute your microphone so that we don't have interferences. The MC, please unmute yourself. Admitted all.
Oh, yes, just like he had our host, I think the host of this Zoom meeting had said, please, we request you to mute so that there are no interferences and interruptions when the speakers are on. Yeah, again, I just want to say happy new month. Thank you for joining in, and I hope you're expectant to hear something that is going to help you. And you may share this information to different people. You can even invite those people out there who would like to know. Right now, we're just starting. And we know this was specifically for you SAC people, but you may have someone who would like to know this information. So you can invite them at this point, and we might jump in and they may get to know how to apply for the scholarships in these different countries. Yeah, right now I'd like to invite, forgive me, Miss Claire. I don't know if Claire you're around. Miss Claire was supposed to lead, is the one supposed to lead us. Is supposed to lead us in the opening prayer. Claire, are you around? It seems she has not joined in. Anyway, I can still lead the opening prayer as we jump into what we're going to do. Let us humble ourselves and pray. Heavenly Father, King of Kings, Lord of Lords, we want to thank you for today. We want to thank you for the gift of this fraternity. We want to thank you for your SAC, and we want to thank you for all the people who have sacrificed themselves to come and teach us different things on the scholarship situation in different countries. We pray, Heavenly Father, that we may listen diligently and you may give us the wisdom and the understanding to take the information here and use it effectively. We magnify your name, we glorify your name. In Jesus' mighty name, we pray. Amen, amen, amen. Right now, I'd like to invite our Vice President of USAC to give us some opening remarks as we embark on what we're here to do. Yes, Nicholas.
Thank you, Mr. MC. Hope I'm audible enough and clear. Okay. Thank you for the prayer. Thank you for welcoming us. And my name's Selmaga Nicholas, and I'm a student here in Nanjing University of Science and Technology, as well as the Vice President of USAC. So I send out greetings from the USAC cabinet, and I thank you for organizing this webinar to give us more enlightenment on how we could apply for scholarships besides China to the other world. Honorable members and comrades, I welcome you all, and please feel at home. If you have anything or any question, please come and ask. Thank you so much. Back to you, to the MC.
Yes, thank you very much, the Vice President of USAC. Right now, we're going into what we're here to do. I know different people here want to know how you can apply for these scholarships. And the good thing is that we have people who have applied for them and they've successfully got them, and they're here to tell us how. So I would request us to be very attentive to our speakers. Right now, I'd like to invite Mr. Blolo Collins. Mr. Blolo Collins is a student at Boston College here in the USA. And he also studied from different universities to the University of Rochester in New York. And he has a scholarship. So I hope we can all listen to him and we learn how he got it. Yes, Mr. Blolo Collins. I hope I'm pronouncing it very well. If that's how you pronounce your name. If that is not how you pronounce it, I hope you could correct me, and I apologize if that is not how you pronounce it. Yes, Mr. Collins, the floor is yours.
Mr. MC, thank you very much for such a wonderful day. I'll begin by thanking God, because as a believer, I know there's nothing possible without Him or His guidance. And then I would love to thank everyone that has managed to turn in and listen to how we can acquire scholarships, assistantships, and other study opportunities. I pray that may this webinar, may your time be as useful as you would wish. So I'll make a few corrections. My name is Blolo Collins. I'm born in Uganda. Currently, I'm at Shanghai University, where I'm doing my master's in laws. However, the MC said, talked about Boston College and Rochester University. I'm still in China. However, I'm going to graduate this year, probably June, July. But before I graduate, I had already secured scholarships. Boston College, I was admitted with assistantship that would cover my accommodation, insurance, stipend, and other study requirements. And then at Rochester University, that is New York, I was admitted on a Dennis Award scholarship that is full and plus some assistantship, which requires some research and other things like according to the supervisor. And then the biggest one is the Erasmus Mundus Scholarship that I received a few weeks ago. Erasmus Mundus Scholarship is a prestigious scholarship that is awarded to the top, I would say the top, best and the luckiest students in every continent. Erasmus Mundus program selects 2 best students in every continent. So in Africa, I was among the luckiest and the best students that were selected. Me from Uganda and another person from Ghana. In Africa, we were 2 that were selected. And then we have a class of about 23 people. Erasmus Mundus program is funded by European Union. So everything is covered from your ticket to from where you are. If you're in Uganda, if you're in China, it covers everything up to the time you finish your program. It's 2 years program. You can do PhD, you can do master's. Master's is about 3-4 years, but PhD is about 3-4 years, and then master's is 2 years program. But then you study in multiple countries. So you don't only study in one country, you move into different countries. But don't get scared, everything is covered. So for example, the scholarship that I got, I'm going to study in Austria. And then from Austria, I'll go to Finland. And from Finland, there's an internship, probably United States or any country that you want to study in. And then from there, you go to, there's an Asian trip. So in Asia, you either choose China or you go to India. Probably having been in China, I will choose India. So, but in every country where you go, you study in one of their best colleges or schools. So after India, I'll go to Germany and Hungary and then Spain. But everything is covered, plus some good stipend. I would say good stipend, yeah. So it is worth it trying, and you take your best shot. Yeah, everyone is eligible. There's no age limit. What is required is you need to meet their requirements. So in the brief introduction that I was admitted at Boston College, one of the best private institutions in the US. I was admitted at Rochester University, and Erasmus Mundus Scholarship, probably the best, and what I would choose, I think. We have many people that are going to discuss today. I'm not going to speak so much. We have our brother who is currently in the United States. Because of a time difference, he was the one to begin the speaking, but he has to meet some professor and is going to join in as soon as possible. He also studied from Chamberlain University, and then from Chamberlain University got a scholarship, and he traveled to China, one of the best universities in China, Renmin University, where he did his master's in political science. And then from here, he got a scholarship to, in fact, he got 3 to the United States, and he chose the best. So currently he's doing his PhD in the United States. So he's going to be joining us very soon. And then we have Nambalila Alice. She's also one of the brightest students I've ever met. She's also studying one of the best universities, I think the 3rd best in China. She's doing her master's in space, something related to space. She's going to clarify about that. And then she has extensive knowledge about how to apply in China and Hong Kong. Probably that's where she might be heading. And then we are going to have Nicholas, who acts as well as the vice president. He has extensive knowledge about how to apply in China, and then what to do, what to prepare your requirements, and then many things. So please, your time here is going to be so good. Don't regret, just tune in. So I'm going to begin with, please, can you allow me share my how do I call it? I want to present something. I have some small PPT here. So I don't know if it is possible. I can share it. Please.
Yeah, it is possible. Tap on the share button. It is possible.
Okay.
Share the screen. Yeah.
I want to share my screen here. Okay. And I'm so grateful that I've seen someone from Uganda. I've seen someone from Alice's University, Mr. Tinashe. You are my research, how should I say? Can you see my?
Yes, we can.
You can see it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I began with the word impossible is nothing. Keep dreaming. Literally everything is possible. Everything is possible. I know there are people who are listening from Uganda, a couple of them. I know there are people who are in China. I know there are people who are outside China, not in Uganda. I have a friend who's in India, who's also tuned in. And many people ask themselves, what can I do for me to get a scholarship in China, for me to get a scholarship in the US, and get a scholarship in Europe? Basically, what you should have in mind is what is your goal? What do you want to achieve? So many people are here in China, but I would say we have a lot of contradicting ideas or objectives as to why or what you want to achieve. So if you have a goal that I want to go to the United States or I want to go to Europe, so you must act towards that goal. So scholarships in Europe or graduate assistantship in Europe, they are very competitive. Everyone wants to go to the US and everyone wants to go to Europe. So that means there are few places for many people. So you must be able to meet those competitive positions. The program like Erasmus Mundus is achievable, but the competition is fierce. But it doesn't mean that you cannot qualify for the scholarship. I said from Makerere University, I didn't get the best results that someone would wish, so I have a first class, I don't have the first class, but you need to do as many things as the program requires so that you meet the competition. Scholarships in the US or Europe do not need you to be only a top A student. So they need someone who is a student but can do multiple things: leadership, volunteer work, you need research. So they need a lot of things. So they grade you not only according to your academic quality, but they grade you according to how you have been performing in school and outside school. So when you're in the university or even if you're just working, you need to have a goal that you want to go to the US. So, okay, you want to go to the US, then what are you supposed to do to go to the US? So you have to act towards your dream. So you are dreaming, but it means that you must act towards the dream that you want. So briefly, my journey of getting scholarships began a year ago. So that means I started planning last year in around November. So I had a period of 1 year to strategize, how am I going to go to the US? How am I going to go to Europe? Because personally, I think I've achieved a lot in China, or have not achieved what I wanted, but I had to move to the next step. So the things that I've achieved in China are enough, so I should lay my strategies to another place. So I had a plan of 1 year, and every month was covered, and I had to do certain things in that month. So when my brother, who's doing a PhD in the United States, will come here, I remember attending one of his webinars, and he was highlighting about how you need to strategize for you to get a scholarship. So my plan began a year ago. So what am I saying? That you must have a strategy. But before having a strategy, you need to have a goal. So if you know where you are going, then you should be knowing how to reach there. So first have a goal, and then lay out the plans. How are you going to achieve those goals? And then persistence are key in achieving what you want. So in my full year of preparing for how to migrate from China to another country, of course, there are failures. Sometimes you feel like you want to give up, but then you strive hard, you work hard, you don't give up. And then you need to surround yourself with people that are also chasing the same goal. So have a goal, keep dreaming, work towards that goal. So what I'm going to say is, if you want to go to the US, if you want to go to Europe has many countries. So you first have to strategize and say, okay, my target is US. So US has many schools. So you need to locate which university do you want to go to, which university do you want to study. So you need to know that, okay, I want to go to Harvard University. And then you go to the website and find out that Harvard University offer the course that you want. Because you may be doing law, you may be doing computer science, and you may be doing maybe something related to artificial intelligence. So you need to know, does the university offer the course that I want? So if you go to Harvard University and does not offer the course that you want, so now you go to MIT and then you go to their website and put in, you search for the program. If you identify that MIT offers the course that you want, then you look for the requirements. So I'm trying to tell you what I used to do. I go to the website of the, I went to Boston College, their website, and then fortunately, Boston College was offering the course that I wanted. So I went I went in details to know what are the requirements for that program. So you read about the requirements. You know, most universities have different requirements. So Boston may have a different requirement. Yeah, Rochester has different requirements, and then other universities have different. However, it is the same program. So when you go to Boston College, identify. So okay, these are the requirements for Boston College, higher education. They need IELTS, they need a publication, they need you to write maybe a research proposal, they need you to have 3 recommendations, they need, so you write them down. You go to another, you don't need to only have one. Personally, I didn't have only one university. I had about 10 universities that had outlined. So I opened up every folder, for example, Boston, Temple, Rochester, Manchester, and in every continent. So I had a folder that has the requirements for every university. So I was working towards meeting all those requirements. So that's why I say it is a strategy that needs time, needs consistency. So after identifying the requirements for every department, you begin to work towards those requirements. So how do you find universities across the world? So I'm going to give you a sample here. So here we go. I open my Google. So let's share this. So you need to, are you seeing what is in my search for so this is universal resource location. So are you seeing what is there? For ICU, MC, help me, is it visible?
It is, to me, it is visible. I can see it.
How can I remove the thing?
Maybe if you're going to enlarge it.
I'm trying to see how I can enlarge this. Okay, we have something like this, hope viewers are seeing. So this, when you press enter, you are going to find a list of universities across the world. So here they give you they give you countries. So you are going to search for universities by country. For example, if you want North America, if you want Latin America, if you want Europe, if you want Africa, if you want Asia. So most of you, I think, would say, okay, I want to go to North America. So here you are. So you click North America. Let me close this. So, well, here we go. North America, you say, wow, I want, do I want to go to Barbuda? Do I want to go to Canada? Or I want to go to the United States? Oh, personally, I said, wow, I don't want to go to Canada. It's too much winter there. So what? I want to go to the United States. So you click United States. So when you go to the United States, there are many universities. So these are states. Where do you want to study from? Do you want to, I know in US, there are places where they call non-safe and safe states. So you choose the state that you think is the best for you. You want Alabama, do you want Arizona, like my brother is in Arizona? Do you want Massachusetts? Oh, do you want Kentucky? So I said, wow, I said I want to go to Massachusetts. where most Ugandans are. So, wow, so here am I. So you get a list of universities, how they are ranked from top to the bottom. From top to the bottom. You can do this in every country. You go to the country, you go to the state, and then you get the list of universities that you want. So my university is, where is Boston College? Okay, Boston College is here. There's Harvard, there's Boston University, there's Boston College is here. You click to Boston College. So they are going to give you a website for Boston College and then the details. So what we are after is about the website for Boston College. So you go to Boston College and then you try to find anyone to guide me how I can enlarge this. You know, my computer skills are so alarming. I need to remove these things so that I widen.
Could you please move your cursor to your top right?
Where?
Where there is a close button, like to your top right of your browser, like the browser using. No, on the browser, just on the browser. Yes, where this X sign, the X button. No, to this side, the right side.
Like this.
Yes, then that box. Click on that box. To max.
We are here, right? Can you see?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, so it is good. So you click to, no, this is different, but we can go. Okay, here. Now you have arrived. You like if you are following, you know the journey we took. Press you. I'm going to share with you the universal resource something, I don't know how they call it, computer science. You help me, and then you input that. You go to the continent. You go to the country. You select the state, and then from the state, you go down and then select the university, and then click the website. And when you are inside the school website, what we need is academics. So you need to know. So when you go to academics, you want to find out what are the majors that are offered in this department. We need majors and other majors, which programs are outside. Our emphasis is about academics and admission. You read the school programs, which programs are afforded and what are their requirements. After writing down the requirements, and then you begin working towards the journey. The journey is tough, it is hard, but at the end, there's a reward for it. So if you have any questions, feel free. You are going to share it. So I said you press, for me it is already saved. You go here, and then you choose the universities. Some would say, I want to go to Europe. Okay, let's try Europe. So you go to the universities in Europe here. So which university do you want to study? Then, for example, Erasmus Mundus program, I'm going to be starting in my semester in Austria. Okay, Austria, this is where we are. So Austria, where, which city do you want to be? So my city where I'll be studying from is it Upper Austria or Vienna? Let me check Vienna here. Okay, you go here and then you input in, like as usual, you find out, you go to the university and then you go to their website. It is better if you have a laptop because some websites are in different languages, not English specifically. So if you have a laptop that automatically translates, then go to the website. Then when you click the website, here you are. So you need to find out academics. Now, like this one, most of the things are displayed in German. So you need to have a laptop that translates these things automatically. Another thing that I would also want to talk about before I forget, we people in China have a lot of time. We have time, we have resources, and we have people that we can contact. So when you're in China, at least personally, I have used China as a stepping stone to a destination that I think I would not achieve. And I think everyone can do that if that is their goal, because we have different objectives in life. China has given me ample time to study and plan whatever I want to do. And I think most of us have time. And we have unlimited internet. Maybe our friends in Uganda have a problem of internet. You have to buy data, you have to do a lot of things. So China, you have a lot of time. Instead of sleeping, watching movies, going to the bar, and then meeting people, friends that will not even matter after you have left China, you can strategize and plan and establish a strong foundation for a different country, a different continent that you'd wish. Because most of our friends here from different countries, after China, you may not even have time to talk to them, because a few things in China unite us. You only remain is a few friends who are Ugandan. So before you go get drunk or do anything, yes, it's good to enjoy life. Life is short, as some people say, but I don't believe it's short. But as you do that, you plan your life, because it is so disgusting that when you leave China, you probably chances are high that you may not have the skills that you wanted to achieve. But then you are going back to Uganda, and Uganda is a country that maybe China has given you certain standards. So when you go back to China, to Uganda, you may not be able to meet those standards. So you find yourself ever regretting, wanting to again come back to China, you want to go to another country, you live complaining, you studied a course in engineering, you're working as a translator, and then you know this Chinese, how they treat you. So you live a disorganized life. So you can plan and say, wow, what I want is this. And you have time, you have resources, you have everything. So you have to utilize this time. Take advantage of where you are, so that the next step you don't regret. And then we have identified the programs that we want. You have identified MIT as the college that you want to go to, and you have seen their requirements, so you start working towards their requirements. So what else do we do? Okay. Sorry, I think it's challenging me a bit here. So after identifying, this is, I think you can copy this, 4icu.org. You can search any university in any country using that link. And I've showed you how the steps we can follow to do that. Okay, you have identified the university requirements. There is IELTS, is a good academic CV, a good one, not these ones of when you're applying for, maybe you want to be the captain of Masaza Cup. Such a CV cannot work. You cannot get anything in the US or Europe. You need to have a good, attractive CV. And most universities in Europe, they have what you call Europass CV. So Europass CV, I don't know if I can share it here. A Europass CV, you just generate it within the system. So everything it looks so beautiful and looks so organized. So you just input in the school, the skills that you have. So avoid just writing CVs that don't make sense. Always have a CV that when the reviewer looks at it, wow, they say this one deserves a study opportunity. For example, let me share one of my, I want to show you how probably a good CV, not a good one, but what I used to get some offers that I've got, and then how it looks like. Okay, so Europass CV is something like, I'm sorry, I don't want to take a lot of time because there are many speakers here. But I want to extensively show you what we have to do. I think I have to go to, yeah. Now, yeah. Oh my God. Can't find it. This something like this. It is something like this, but it's generated with it. It is generated. If you need more information about how to come up with something like this, you can go to YouTube. You'll find the template there, and then you put in your information. Where are we? So I was talking about CV. You need to have a good CV. You are not applying for something very common. You're applying for a study opportunity, you're applying for a scholarship. So you need to be the best and do the best. And then another thing, IELTS, I didn't talk extensively about it, but most universities in the US and Europe need IELTS exam or TOEFL. So one of the two, to have a +1 for your required to gain the university admission or scholarship. Erasmus Mundus is a must. You need to have IELTS. There are certain programs that do not require if you have studied in an English-speaking country, but most of the programs need IELTS. And IELTS, you must have 6.5 and above, and not less than 6 in every either reading or writing. So when you do IELTS, it means you have increased your chances of getting admitted. However, you can also get admitted without IELTS. But my point is, it increases your chances of getting admitted. I did IELTS, and most of the programs required IELTS. So in my plan of a year, I had to do IELTS in a certain period of time. So make sure you do IELTS, because most people fear to do IELTS. Why? It is very expensive. Yes, you have to pay around 20,000, 20,170, 2,170. 2,170 in Uganda shillings, that's about 1 million maybe. Yeah. And then also practicing is hard. Everything is hard, but we are English speakers and we know this. Just you need 1-2 months to prepare, and then boom, you go and do it. And then we have what we call SOP, or statement of purpose. This is extraordinary. You need to have a quality SOP. If you don't have that, forget about admission in the US, Europe. If you don't have a quality SOP, you're wasting your time. I don't know about other countries, but I've had experience in Europe and US. You need to have a good one. So how do you write a statement of purpose? Because of time, I will not detail much in writing SOP or motivational letter. I'm going to share my email. I can send you requirements for writing a good SOP and motivational letter. And I can also help you review, though I'm not a good one, but I have some 10-20% knowledge about writing SOP. So I can now guide you on how to write a good SOP. For Erasmus Mundus, most of the programs that require, most of the programs, not most, but all of them need SOP. And almost 50% is allocated to SOP, because Erasmus Mundus program, they have a ranking scale. They will say, okay, academic quality, they'll give it 20%. And then SOP or motivation letter, they'll give it 40 or 50%. And then leadership skills, they'll give it 10%. And then recommendation letters, they also give it a certain percentage, so that they rank a full holistic student who can compete to the best. So they don't only need you to have a first class, but you need to have a good SOP. You need CV, they also give it a certain percentage. And then work experience, there's a certain percentage. So as they rank the percentages, if you don't have a good academic performance, you can leverage on CV, on the SOP, and the SOP carries the highest percentage, also work experience and recommendation letters. But SOP, you need to write it extensively well, and you cannot write SOP in 1 week or 2 weeks. SOP, you need to be ready to write it in about a good one in about a month and have people review it. You need to have good people who have excelled, people who have done it and know how to do it. I remember paying many people to write for me SOP, but they did just fake things. So I decided to write it myself and then allow people to read through my SOP, and they guided me on how to arrange and make things look good. So I remember searching for people who have got Erasmus Mundus scholarships, and they helped me review my statement of purpose. But the best person that reviewed my statement of purpose with the best, I have a friend who's a lecturer at Glasgow University School of Education. So I sent him my documents, and then he edited extensively my documents that everywhere I was sending them, they were being accepted. I applied it to 5 programs. So far 3 are out, and all of them have been awarded scholarships. So that means my papers or my SOP is quality. And then the rest are 2, I expect the results mid-March and early April. So the 3 out, now it is 3 out of 5. Why? Because I planned well, I prepared well, and I did almost what they wanted. I had good SOP, and I had the people that reviewed. Not anyone can review, but you need to have someone in the field who knows what would the reviewers be looking for in a motivation letter. So motivation must have a good introduction. You must highlight where you are coming from, what you want from the program, and after the program, what are you going to achieve? So if you're planning to go to the US, and you need to know how to write a good one. So for Marie, SOP required 50. For Euroculture, it is 40. And then for another program, Resilience, it was 50, only the SOP. So that means it is one of the best requirements you need to give your time. If it requires putting in money, put in their money. At the end, there's a reward. And then recommendation letters. Schools in the United States need you to have need to be recommended by someone who has ever taught you or someone that has ever employed you. So I'm lucky that here in my university, Shanghai University, I have a PhD student, but also is a lecturer from Makerere University School of Education. So he has been so helpful, and he was the one recommending me from Makerere University. And at my professor here at Shanghai University was also very helpful in recommending. So what should a recommendation letter look like? You should not go to a professor who write only 1 paragraph. No, because recommendation letters are awarded points. They give it 15. So if you have a fake recommendation letter, then they'll give you 0 or they give you 2. And someone comes with a quality recommendation letter that talks about how they know the student, what they have done in school, what are they capable of doing outside school, their leadership skills, how can they work with many others and research. So don't go to a supervisor who will write 1 paragraph. And some of you write recommendation letters to whom it may concern. You are applying in US, you're applying in Europe, and these are competitive positions. You write to whom it may concern. That will be thrown away. So you need to have, your recommendation letter should have a headed paper of the university, Makerere University logo and all the details. Your supervisor should write extensively, 1 page and above. Not someone who writes to one line and say, I know this person from this, is a good student, I strongly recommend. You are missing out. You will have everything good, but your recommendation letter will make you fail. So have a good recommendation letter. In fact, it's better you draft your own recommendation letter and then approach the professor, tell him or her that this is what I've written for a program, because you know what the program wants. You have read extensively about it. So draft it yourself, send it to the professor through an email, and then tell him or her that, okay, this is what I've written, please edit. The professor will edit and then recommend you. Universities US, you don't send it yourself. So you just input the email of the supervisor, and then the university sends the email, and then the professor inputs. So you need to know how to write a good recommendation letter, and then search, how can I write a good one? Also, recommendation letter should have the details of the professor. Some may forget to write the details, how he knows you, and also maybe email and things like that. That will also cost you when you are applying. So look for a professor who is willing to help you apply. If the professor is not willing, go to someone else, a doctor, Mr. Necessary shouldn't be a professor, but anyone that has ever told you or your employer that is willing to write good about you, because recommendation letters count in the grading. Okay, you're going very fast. What else? There's what we call sending cold emails to professors. This means that you have identified the university and you have gone to the academics, you know that, okay, this is School of Education. So there's a Professor Dr. Remy, is teaching such and such. You send him an email, because on the website there are emails for professors. Send the professor an email stating what you want and how you are going to be able to help him achieve the research. So most of these professors have research, they have their projects. So if you go to the school website, read about maybe Dr. Remy and then his research. So then write to the professor asking him to give you assistantship so that you help him do maybe also finish the project, highlighting how you are fit to do the project, what skills have enabled you do that, what skills will make you be able to achieve what the professor wants. Personally, I sent over 100 cold emails. We call them cold emails. And if you need, I can show you how you can talk to a professor through email. And this works well for science students. It is quite rare in arts because for sciences, it is more of lab work, and most people, there are practical things. So a professor might be having a certain assistantship or needs a certain supervisor in that lab. So if you write a good cold emails stating how you are going to be a good student who will help the professor achieve what he wants, then the professor will give you a scholarship or give you assistantship. I have a friend who's in the United States doing the same. Just got the professor from LinkedIn, sent the cold email, and the professor replied and got the scholarship. So you need to know how to structure this email so that the professor responds to you. So most students get, mostly the science students get scholarships or assistantships through cold emails. The other thing is online courses. Wow. So online courses are also good. Online courses add the value onto your CV. For example, you're applying for a course in higher education. You go to EDX, you go to Coursera, and there are many other platforms that offer those online courses. So when you do those online courses and you pay and get a certification that shows that you did these online courses, it is a +1 on your CV. Some of us have CVs that is 1 page. You know, you have a CV, you only write your name and your university. You have nothing else to add on. So imagine you're applying for competitive scholarships and you don't have anything to add on your CV. After your name, date of birth, then you begin adding, I was the class captain in his senior one. I was the chief prefect. Those things don't count. So you need to have online courses that are related to what you are going to apply. That's why I said you have a goal and then know what courses are you going to do that fit the course that you are going to apply to. So some, like I said, you have a CV of 1 page and you are applying for a course. You are sending professor called the email and you are saying 1 page. No, you must have something to add on your CV that is really very important and attractive. Personally, I did about 8 online courses, and these are expensive online courses. So it doesn't matter how much you put in, but the results, you will not regret them. So 8 online courses requires a lot of time, requires a lot of consistency, and requires a lot of money. But the money you spend on Weimar, you go to the bar, you buy expensive drinks, and then okay, they are good, but those are temporary things. You can partition. So okay, I spend this side this amount of money, and then you also have somewhere you spend a good amount of money. So strategize. Like I said, I did 8 online courses, and my CV is so good. It's no wonder that every program I apply to, I get, because I invested in. So when you invest in, you get the reward. So the world is self-service, and you reap where you sow. So you not just wake up, time has gone, your visa is almost ending, and then you start say, oh, I have 3 months, 4 months, and my visa is going to expire in China. What should I do? Then you begin applying. You are risking your mindset. They are going to deny you. They are going to send you reject email because you didn't plan. You spent your time recklessly. You live the useless life. And after you go back to Uganda, you start disturbing people. How can I come back to China? How can I go there? So plan your life. And then the rest will be history. Do these online courses, do many things. Okay, conferences, attend these conferences. It is also an addition to your CV. Attend online courses, attend online conferences, and then publications you need to publish if you're applying for master's, PhD, particularly PhD. For master's, added advantage. And then seek knowledge and guidance, get people to read your papers, leadership, surround yourself with people whom you share your goal. Finally, pray and fast. These things many people are applying. So your paper may land in the hand of a professor who is biased about Uganda and then give 0 marks. So pray and fast, your paper lands in safe hands. For more information, I'm going to share my email. I have many things to talk about, but because of time, I'll leave others to share their stories. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Collins. That was very informative. Thank you for sparing your time. Thank you for preparing all this. And the one thing I've got is that preparation is always key. The fact that you prepared a year prior to all these things, you clearly showed us that it is indeed a long process, but if you take your time to prepare, then you can achieve what you want. So thank you for that. Thank you. I hope you have all got something from this. And just like he has said, we'll share the email. If you have any question, you can ask him. Right now, I'd like to invite I know our time is, sorry. I'd like to invite our second speaker. And that is,
I think Mr. is ready, right?
Oh, Mr. Is he ready?
Yeah.
Okay, I'd like to invite Mr. Mbayo. Mr. Richard Mbayo, if you are ready, please, the floor is yours. Mr. Richard?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, guys. I can say good evening that side, good morning my side from as colleagues. I'd like to take this opportunity that's really very important for us to have this kind of meetings. It is very important for us, for our future, and for the rest of other guys who depend on us. I am sorry I came in late because of our time difference. Right now it's 5. My colleague called me. Actually, I was still sleeping. I had to wake up and say, guys, I have to join you. Sorry. So basically, what I can begin with is that education. I'm beginning with this quote from Mandela, that education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world. And you can apply that quote to our normal life. Yeah, compare your colleague whom you were with in primary 1, who does not complete P7, and compare yourself to where you are. If you are making an impact in the society, who has more power or who can make an impact than compared to other guys. So basically, I don't have like too much work I've done. I'm just going to review the past presentation I had. That was around August. Yeah, this presentation was I was hosted by some NGO in UG. where I was talking about how to study in abroad, how can you apply and what you need to do. So yeah, and yes, some people, I have got some friends from who attended their last year's meeting and have succeeded in the application. I'm glad that at least I made an impact in other people's lives. And I think here it's all about knowing what you want in life. At the end of that day, you achieve it. I don't know if everyone is hearing me, because I may just continue talking when people are not hearing me. And that's the most important part of this interaction.
Got you.
Oh, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay, yeah. So basically, it's not something new. I'm just going to review what my colleague Colin has been talking about. It's all about, yeah, the first important step is knowing what you want to study. I'm meaning the program. Yeah, after identifying the program, yeah, which country do you want to study it from? Then the third step is going to identify universities, then subscribe to emails. I think that's the best way to also receive these scholarship opportunities. And right now, there's for US, there's scholarship position, then there's after school Africa, and there's opportunities.com. There are a lot of scholarship opportunities. Actually, what you may need to do is just to search about scholarship. You'll find a lot of different links on Chrome, on Google, so that you can subscribe. You put in your personal email, because I would recommend you, like most of these opportunities, to be using your personal email. Yeah, so I know right now every student have like an institutional email, which is good, but when you're applying for something personal, I call it personal, it may not make sense for you to be using a university, using email of the university. Maybe some universities, after leaving China, when you graduate, they deactivate those emails. Thanks to my university up to now, I still use my Chinese university. I was at Renmin. I still have access to that email, but some colleges, they do close. I don't know, depending on their policies and what. Sorry, I gave my brief introduction. I started speaking without giving my brief introduction. I'm Richard Mbayo. Yeah, coming from Uganda, from a deep district called Chibuku in Eastern Uganda. We are neighboring Palisa, Budaka, Mbale, and Namtumba. Yeah, then I got my bachelor's from Chambago University. I did development study. I majored in international development. Then it was year 2019. Then I came to China to pursue a master's degree in political science. That's from Renmin University of China. Then from that, I had interest of coming to the US. Yeah, I had my personal interest. There was other opportunities, but I decided that I would wish to study in the US. Then I started applying for those scholarships. Yeah, what I can tell you, my guys, we must be prepared to receive. We are sorry. Yeah, sometimes we call it normal. When you're having like your meal and if email pops up, we are sorry. If it's not congratulations, continue eating or continue doing what you are doing. But if I say a message pops up, we are sorry. Like the first statement, thank you for applying our university, what and what. Then we are sorry. We are sorry to regret you, to inform you that you have not been selected. It is normal until one day you receive that kind of congratulatory message informing you that you have been selected. So yeah, you need to just keep doing your homework. And I always encourage people to start your application at least minimum to be at least five. Yeah, as I said, I identify the major, which is the program you wish to study. All the information or what information you need is always on the website. Yeah. So for the case of US, I would suggest that, okay, yeah, you go to everything, and I will always I say that the best relative you have in this world is internet. Internet is our best relative. Like all the information you need, you can find it there. It depends on how you use your internet, but it can be the best teacher for us to get this information that can help us to change our life, and those will depend on us. So yeah, go to Google, find for the program you wish the program you're interested in, search about it, what are the requirements, it does not make sense for someone to submit an application when there is some missing issues. For instance, yeah, here in the US, most colleges they need English what test. My brother was talking about it, but it depends. But if you have your bachelor from an English speaking country, let me say Uganda, Kenya, or you is in from Europe, especially from UK, you don't need an English what? You don't need to sit for that English test. So it also matters. But my colleagues, like if you have first degrees from China, probably have to submit, unless maybe if you have a master's degree and the way you have been communicating, whenever you're like sending inquiries, make sure that you edit. There is no error in your email. That can also help you to see, like the way you communicate. There's no errors in your conversation with the program coordinator. It can also be important. And I want to put more emphasis on the program is that before you apply, it's better to contact the program coordinator. Contacting program coordinators helps you to create rapport between you and the school. The program coordinator is one of the committee members. Actually, yeah, there always are at least 4 people who sits on the committee, depending on the university, but it's 4 people. And out of those 4 people, at least you know someone out of the 4, at least you know one person you have been communicating to, who's the program coordinator. So I advise or I recommend before applying, even if you start everything is okay, yeah, take your time and send him or her an email inquiring about the program. Although you know the whole information, the guy will reply you, then also they can take time and say, okay, I also reply back like that, so that there is a rapport between you and the school. So when the time reaches to submit your application, you can go on and submit. Yeah, then after the program, talk about the country. I may not need to emphasize this. Yeah, because at least everyone has their personal interest where they want to study from, which country. Yeah, so let me go back to the program. Yeah, I think that's where this is the most important. Some colleagues, you might be your background, bachelor's, yeah, mostly bachelor's, because it matters a lot. It might be having in a different background, but at the master level PhD, you want to change. So at this instance, you have to give a clear explanation in your motivation letter why you wish to change the program. Because, and another issue, it may cost you to get admission, because like you don't have you don't have any background in that, like you're going to start from grassroots, like from ground. You don't have any background. But I'd recommend people, yeah, to continue to improve your opportunities. It's better to continue with your background, where the one who started at undergrad. But some colleges, some programs, if you read on their website, they say they welcome students from any other background, especially if you are doing in the area of social sciences. So it's automatically you can be admitted on such kind of program. Yeah, university. Yeah, this part, I think it's the most important according to me, how to apply and apply and apply. Yeah, there are mostly 6 items for every application we will submit, depending on the university. Yeah, the most important part of everything is the statement of purpose or personal statement or study plan, depending on how the university calls it. Yeah, this letter, it actually entails about your background, where you started from, or what you talk about your work experience, talk about your future plans, talk about what will you do after completing this program, and what have you been doing in the community. This is very important. You know, especially for the kinds of social sciences, they expect you to be at least as an volunteer you have during your free time, especially maybe during Form 6, during the transition from high school to university. During that holiday, maybe offered some voluntary services. This is very important. They say this person can cause a change in the community. You are supporting other people. Or during Besides that, some people do volunteering after university. When you are like looking for the job, you can apply for some NGO, even if at the local, the grassroots back home, and or anywhere, even in China, there are some opportunities of such kind of volunteering. This is contributes a lot because they know, because education is all about helping other people. Actually, yes, you may think, okay, I just changed my life, but how many people depend on you? That's the most important part. So when you are writing it, you have to include such kind of issues and you have to elaborate more. Why do you think you are the best candidate to be selected to that particular kind of what program? Yeah, the item number 2 is the CV. Yeah, resume is basically is different, like from CV, depending on where you are. For instance, here in the US, resume is just used to apply for the job. If you are looking for the job, use a resume. If you're applying for an academic program, if you want to study a master or PhD, you have to use a CV. A CV is more detailed. It talks more about yourself, even work experience, everything is like more detailed. But CV, it can be some kind of summary. Like here, it's mostly 3 pages, unless you have more. It's mostly 2 pages, 2 to 3 pages here in the US. And if you're applying in the US, please remove your photo. It's not required because some committee, yes, racism is everywhere. Some people may be already biased about how you look like. So it's better to remove that passport photo on your on your CV. And in the US, you don't need to put your age, like I was born in 1990 or what. It's not necessary. Your sex and what, those things are here. They don't matter. If you're applying here, they don't matter at all. So yeah, then academic transcripts. Most colleges, they allow for you to apply using your own transcript, like the certificate the university got it from the university. But if you admit it, you'll be required your university to submit it. Mostly it's either electronic, like the university will provide you an email so that you can send. For instance, like my college, they give me an email to share it with an academic office in Chambogo to submit my transcript so that they can compare the one I submitted with this from the one which is from the school, which is official. They call it official transcript. Then another, like, yeah, if you have a master's from China, have also submitted your transcript from China. However, somehow it's a bit challenging because some are not reading. That's it's also challenging. Yeah, item number 4 is a recommendation letter, which is the most challenging part. Yeah, for a CV, a letter of motivation, academic transcript, already you have it. But the issue is a recommendation letter. And a recommendation letter, especially if you're applying in the US, they need 3. And if it's for PhD, they don't need from like your work experience. They need people, your professors, your lecturers who have taught you. They know your skills and weaknesses. Someone who can recommend you, oh, that Richard was in my class, he did this, and during his time, this is how he interacted with people. That's for US, they must prefer recommendation letters from the previous university where you attended. And my colleague Colin was talking about it. Most schools, especially where, yes, in China, someone only is willing to write for you, maybe 2 paragraphs. And I was talking about, to whom it may concern, the address. Already, you are applying, let me say, at Northern Arizona. That information is on the website. Go there and pick select, copy and paste that address to the application, you send it to your professor, or you draft that letter and give it with the address. To me, it may concern it's only guys that works for LOC1. Yeah. That letter only ends at the LOC1 level, because even if you have got a job even in Uganda, then someone, if is recommend to write more about you, of course you will address the exact company, either Coca-Cola or Pepsi or MTN, at least, but not whom it may concern. It's only more political, which is only applicable to LOC1. When you're requesting some kind of letter, it just always unique, like that kind of that side. Yeah. So then another issue is application fee. Most universities they offer application waivers. However, you have to attend one of their as admission sessions, these meetings, they always advertise on their website. For every program in the US, they do that. And the best time to apply in the US is starting from September to March. My brother, if you're planning to make an application beyond March, I don't know if there's any school who will be still having funding, because at the end of the day, the most important thing is to raise funding. Yeah, the best school, I think, yeah, the little tuition and what we can pay for an academic year is around 200 RMB, 200,000. So it means that you need to get at least a school that offer you some kind of a scholarship. So the best time to start applying is starting from September. Probably, to be honest, it's February, to be honest, but it depends on the ranking of the university. Some top colleges, they end their application for PhD is December 15th. Those top colleges, then others comes to January, February. But private universities, they're open up to now. Yeah, yes, these are in China, I think they call them normal universities. Yeah, normal this, normal that. Those up to now, those applications that are still open here in the US. Here, I think they're called some community colleges. Yeah, the applications are always open. They're always open, and there's few opportunities for funding, and mostly for PhD, I don't expect to be past March to find a scholarship. I don't know, it depends on the university, but if for masters, yeah, it can still run until March or April, because most schools already have started releasing results for the academic year to start in August. So that and you need a lot of time. There's a lot of paperwork to get a US visa. So they give you time. For instance, for you to request your school submit the transcript so that the school can review. Or if they require to sit for an English test, it means we have also time to prepare for it. Then before sending you official documents, or if you are under partial scholarship, you have also they have to give you time to provide for financial statement, which is a bank statement from your sponsor. So before they send you I-20, which is I think JW in Chinese context, I think it's a JW. What else I need to talk about? But I would prefer, I don't prefer talking a lot. I would prefer you people to if you have questions, to raise questions, then we can interact that with them. For me, it's not a church that I am going to preach. I would prefer for you, because you have something to talk. Either you paste a question in the chat, or you can the admin can allow someone to talk and pose a question, then we'll talk more. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much, Mr. Richard. Thank you for, first and foremost, I want to say thank you for availing yourself. Just like you've said, you're in a place whereby the time zone is different from where we are. So it may be conducive for us, but it's not convenient for you. But all in all, we want to thank you. Right now, our program was supposed to start from 8 to 9, and we've already passed that. But I'd like to beg for at least for 9 minutes for questions. If you have any question that you want to put across, that you want clarity on, we have 9 minutes. We want to end at 9:20. So if you have any question that you'd love clarity on, this is a time you can unmute and ask the question. Yeah, due to the interest of time, we know different people have different plans. So anyone with a question, you can unmute and ask the question.
MC, I think there's a question from Louis. I think VC can help talk about that question about someone who stopped in senior 4. Can they have a scholarship in China? If this is there, or Alice, please, you can help someone.
Yeah, it is possible, but they are called, there are people who come here and study diplomas, but they are called technical institutes. But for senior 4, it depends on even your marks. Most of the technical institutes more of the technical, like there are no economic courses, more of plumbing, things that are so much in technical, but not medicine. Let it be these some courses, sensitive courses. These are just like technical work, like construction, but not that civil engineering, like this basic work. But however, some people, I know some people here bypass it, but it's not good. If you need really to strategize, and if you really need to be somewhere, and if you know your goals, it's not just coming to China or acquiring certain papers or certain papers, I think you use the right criteria to be here. You see your MPs are taken out of office just because if I pass this, and you know it will affect you when time comes.
Yeah, I hope that is a good enough answer. Mr. Collins, we had a question for you. Someone asked, can a person with a second lower degree get these scholarships?
Wow, that's so interesting. Someone talking has a second lower. Personally, I have a second lower degree. It's unfortunate that I even have a retake in one of the things. I don't encourage you to fail. You should strive as much as possible to get the best results. But if you can't get the best result, you should not say, I cannot get any scholarship. If you don't have good results, like I told you, you need to leverage, you need to balance other areas. For example, research, your CV must be good. You need to have volunteer work. You need to have online courses, like I said. So work hard when you're in school, but if you fail to get the good results for different reasons, that means you should not say, I've failed, I will not get a scholarship. I personally got second lower and I have a retake, but does not mean that you shouldn't get a scholarship. I already got Erasmus Mundus in Africa. I was one of the 2 that were selected. So you need to have other things that add quality to your application, like Dr. Richard has been saying here. Those things he has been highlighting, you need to do them. LTS, do it so that you add the value to your CV. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much. There was a question that was asked in the chat box. It was, does every university need to hold universities? And Mr. Richard answered it by saying, not all, but if it is PhD, you may be required to be interviewed. But the interview questions will depend on what you write in the statement of purpose. Yeah, that is the question. There's also another question. I'm sorry if I'm being fast. This is, do these scholarships come hand in hand with the admissions to these desired universities? Is it a twofold kind of thing or one thing after the other? In your own experience? Mr. Collins, Mr. Richard.
Oh, let me address that question. Actually, it depends on the university, but most universities, they send admission with funding, with scholarship. That, okay, congratulations, you have been admitted to our program, and this is the kind of scholarship allocated to you. However, some schools they first give you admission, then they hold interview. Then after that interview, they depend either you deserve a full funding or partial. It is a two-way depending on the university, but most universities, they send you admission with scholarship.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Mbayo. There's also another question to still Mr. Richard. Could you briefly share on your transition from the master's degree in China to admission for PhD in, I think he meant to say in the USA? How much time did it take you, and are there any special requirements to take note from one coming from China?
Okay, bro. Yeah. Actually, the transition, I can say it's hectic. However, but if you have some kind of, if your undergrad degrees from countries where like, let us be honest, our education in China, you know how it has loopholes somehow, somewhere. They yeah, in fact, India and China, there are some schools, they ask for specific there are like specific requirements. For other countries, it might be a different case. But for me, after applying to the university, they just asked you for my transcript to be sent from Uganda. They never asked my Chinese degree. And another issue is that I was in China, I studied politics, and my PhD is also in political science. So it was just a continuation of what I studied in China. And my undergrad is a development study, which is more politics, because developments, you cannot develop without politics. It's politics which determines development. So we're having the same course units. It's only a different name. So then the process is a bit hectic. Yeah, I got admission was, I think it was second last year, March. Yeah. When I received the admission, yeah, they give you like 2 weeks, depending on the university policy. They give you 2 weeks either to accept the admission or reject. Then if you accept, you have to fulfill some university conditions, you have to do this and this and that. So what they did, like, yeah, for us to go to the next step with the application, please contact your previous university to send us your transcript. After the school receiving the transcript, they verify it, then the university will send you the full official admission letter, because the first thing they send you is just like an email informing you that you have been admitted. So then after verifying your transcript, they will send you admission letter, the full package. If it requires, like, if you have been given partial funding, they require you to send a letter, to sign a letter of sponsor, like your friend or your family member or any organization that's willing to fund you. You sign that paper, then you send the university with a bank statement. Once that is verified, the school will send you the I-20, which is the GW used here to apply for admission. That one, and it takes like within 7 days after sending a transcript, the school will send you that I-20, which is JW in China, for you to apply for, to enable you to apply for a US visa. But for US visa, you need to apply for, you pay around $350 to Homeland Security, which is like internal affairs here, Ministry of Internal Affairs in Uganda. 350, then application fee for visa is 160. You have to pay that money before scheduling for an interview at the US Embassy. For me, I went to Guangzhou because I was staying in Yiwu, which is Zhejiang province, but by then Shanghai was the nearest, but it was closed because of COVID. So I had to go to Guangzhou for my visa. I did not go to Beijing because I had more business interest in Guangzhou. Also, that's the reason why I went to that side.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Richard. Yeah, so these are the last questions. I think they're directed to Mr. Collins. And also, I just want to say that if you have any other questions, they are Mr. Richard and Mr. Collins, they've already shared their emails, and I see they've also shared their contacts, their telephone numbers. You can contact them with anything. Yeah, so these are the last questions for you, Mr. Collins. Someone asked, is a statement of purpose the same as a motivation letter? And then there's also another person who said that, who was asking if you could share more about the graduate assistantships, and can they be given to even someone who did not study at that specific university?
Oh, well, thank you for those questions, but MC, maybe a kind reminder that someone has sent me a direct message and asking that they have missed something from China. They didn't hear the story, how they can get into China, and we have Esther and VC to talk about that area of how these people can transition from Uganda to China, and then maybe from China they can go to a different country. But we have talked about Europe and US, so we have not given the idea of how can it be in China. And I think after I answer these questions briefly, Esther, Alice and please, they can talk about China maybe in a few minutes. Assistantship is like a job, and probably your supervisor gives you a study opportunity. Maybe the supervisor has funding. If it is practical, those science-related courses, the supervisor may have a funding for a certain project, and then so the supervisor will recruit people and then give them assistantship. And then as this assistant comes with accommodation, stipend, and some other things packed with it. In most cases, what I got at Boston College is an assistantship where I will have to work within the university and I will be paid a stipend, and the work will also cover my tuition. So you work within the university. In the US, mostly, there are no full-time, like full scholarship like in Europe. They are just assistants where you work and then they pay you. Europe mostly has scholarship, but US assistantships are more better. Like if you want to get a study opportunity, you go through assistantship through a supervisor or through the graduate administration. And then when you meet the priority deadline, you are scheduled for these interviews. And then if you pass the interviews, then the company or the project or anything related to that, they employ you and then you work for them as you earn and then they pay your school fees. Central purpose and motivation letter are quite the same. Some call it central purpose, some call it motivation letter. However, in US, there's a small difference. There's some will call it personal statement, something that talks about yourself. So central purpose and motivation are the same, but it's quite different from personal statement, in my understanding. Maybe we can hear from the China story also, if possible. I don't know, MC.
Yeah. Right now, let me just invite Miss Alice. If you're there, briefly, you can share with us your journey to China and how they can apply for these Chinese scholarships. But still, these people are in your SAC. So if you have any questions, you can still contact them. Yeah, please.
Hello, everyone.
Yes,
My
Alice.
name is Alice. Can you see me?
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
Yes, my name is Alice. I'm a Ugandan, and I'm doing master's degree in geophysics in the area of atmospheric sciences at University of Science and Technology of China. But I also know how to speak Chinese. Yeah, so that is a little background. I also did my undergraduate from Macquarie University. Yeah, so I'm going to show you the scholarships that I personally have been able to be part of in China, and also the other ones I hope for anyway. Yeah, so I came to China in 2019 through the Confucius Institute Scholarship. Let me first share with you the scholarships in China. Can you see my? Yeah, so I'm going to talk about scholarships in China and the Hong Kong PhD Fellowship Scholarship. So in China, basically there are so many scholarships here in China. Yeah, and I think there is also a chance of studying, because sometimes you might say that I don't want to study in China or what, but here they give you free, what do they call it? Free education, like they pay for you, and the scholarships, there are so many, they pay for you, you're able to learn a lot. Like me, I'm a science student and I'm doing something related to atmospheric sciences. So I've been able to, because I came to China, even the area I came into, because my background is in physics, math. So The area I came into, I also didn't know about it. But when I came here, people started opening my eyes, like, Alice, see this, there is this one, you know. So these are the different scholarships that can help you to gain knowledge in China. Yes. So the first one is the Chinese government scholarship, which is called CSC. And that one, the vice president will talk about it. Then there's also scholarships from the provincial governments of China. Then there are city scholarships. Provincial scholarships, they are given according to different provinces. Like every province has their different scholarships. So in case you miss out on China government scholarship, that one is about, it's nice on China standards, it's really nice. And also scholarships from provincial government governments of China, it depends on the city. Some cities, it's just like Chinese government scholarships. Some cities, it's less. So there are so many, so it depends on the city. So if you know, you can go to maybe Google and try to search. Every province has its own scholarships. So we also have city scholarships, like big cities in China also have their scholarships, like for example, in Shanghai, in Beijing, and in some other cities like Tianjin, they have those scholarships, which are more like the Chinese government scholarships, like the benefits are all the same. Then there is Confucius Institute scholarships, and these ones are mainly for language. Yeah, they're mainly for language, for Chinese language, teaching Chinese to speakers of other languages. Yes, basically. Then we have university-based scholarships. Yeah, so I'm part of the university-based scholarships. Yeah, so every university in China, it also has their scholarships as a university. So it depends, the stipend still depends on the grade of the school. Yes, so in my school, where I study from, the stipend is the same as for China government scholarship at master's level. Yeah, so they also have their own different scholarships in this school. Like they have and so they also have USTC scholarship. Yeah, so there's also MOFCOM scholarships. These ones are mainly for people who are working, but in Uganda, they give, in Uganda, you can go and search. I've never gotten it, but I have friends who have gotten it, and it has wow benefits when you're living in China. Yeah, so these are some. Yeah, so I'm part of ANSO scholarship. Yes, in this school where I'm in University of Science and Technology of China. That's where I study from. But okay, let me first briefly talk about myself. I studied at Macquarie University, bachelor's in physics and math, bachelor's of science, physics and math, and I specialized in physics. So afterwards, I went to do, in Uganda, it's not easy to get a job. So afterwards, I went to also spend time at Confucius Institute. As we used to say, like you go there, you grow up, you find so many people, you look out for opportunities. So was so many people there all looking at, China. But like, even if I go in China for one day and come back, it's okay. So that's why I came to China. So there at Confucius Institute, they have different courses, like for Chinese language, short course, and now they have even bachelor's. So when I was there, they have their university in China. It's Xiangtan University. So you go there, and in order to come to China, we had to do some proficiency exams, that is HSK 3. And then we came to China. If you pass HSK 3 very well, they give you a language scholarship, and you come to China to do the 1-year language course. Yeah. So after that 1-year language course, I felt like, God, Okay, I know the Chinese, but I still need to do something physics, to do something that is in my area. So that's how I applied to this school, and my professor picked me and I got the answer scholarship to do my master's degree. Yes, so that's it. So this answer scholarship, these are the benefits of this scholarship. They have for both master's and PhD. I think for PhD, this is like one of the best scholarships in China. They have tuition waiver, they have monthly stipend of 6,000 to 7,000 yuan. They also have health insurance, application fee, waiver, these ones. And then for master's degree, they give stipend of 3,000 and the other things which are included there. So in case you want to know more information about this scholarship, you can go to these websites that I've presented up here. But for now, this scholarship has closed. It closed in February 15th. So in case you're planning to apply next year, you can start in around October. There they open to February, to mid-February. But if you're at PhD, if you're applying for PhD, I think it's better. Like, okay, here they don't ask you to find a professor or do application fee, they don't. So in case you want to know more information on how to eligibility and everything, just go to their website and find out. And also, some people, what they say, in order to win, especially in the competition, you have to do some bit of publications, yes. Yeah, so if you want to know more information about this scholarship, please kindly go to that website and plan accordingly. Yes. So next is the Confucius Institute scholarships. Yeah, so these ones are mainly about Chinese language, and you know that if you're in China, the best language you can ever learn is Chinese language. If you want to exist very well in this country, try to learn Chinese, because one day you will get sick and maybe your friends will not be there. So try to learn the Chinese language, or if you're there and you want to increase your opportunity of being admitted in China, learn Chinese language. So that's it. Or if you want a skill, you can learn as many languages as you can, but also learning Chinese language, because Chinese is spoken by the Chinese people only, as very many people in this continent. So try to learn these languages, understand their culture. It's okay. You can learn a language and it will be part of you, So these are the categories of the scholarship. They have teaching Chinese to speakers of other languages. Then they have Chinese language and literature. Then Chinese language study. So this one is the last one is what I studied. And for teaching Chinese to speakers of other language, the minimum score for HSK. For these ones, you need to have done like HSK something, Hanyu shaping, like these are proficiency exams for Chinese. So you need to have like 270 scores or 180 in HSK for these are Chinese based exams. So if you want to apply or more about this Confucius Institute scholarship, you can go to this website, because I think their scholarships are still ongoing. So you can go to their website. In fact, you can even, if you are planning maybe to study in China, you can start with this journey. It's good. It helps you to understand China, so that you don't live a very confused life in this country, So it helps you to understand Chinese people, China, and everything. So that you can at least live here and not just, you can understand these people. And the last one is this one, Hong Kong PhD fellowship scheme. I applied for this scholarship, but I learned something. I learned some things about it. So they have a very good annual stipend of something like, this money is too much. You people, this money is much. And also they give conference and research related travel allowances of this amount for, if the course is like 3 years, but this is specifically for PhD students. So if you're at master's and you're hoping to apply in Hong Kong, this can be a good target. Like it's a hot cake. So if you want to apply for the Hong Kong, these are basically the universities. These ones here, they are their universities where this scholarship applies. So if you want to apply for Hong Kong PhD scholarships, fellowship scheme, you apply through these universities here. And when I applied, I got to talk to very many professors. I think that's why Collins called emails to the professor. So you go to their website. This was the website for the admission that closed. It also closed December 1st. It opens in October and it closed in December 1st. So maybe if you're planning to apply there next academic year, what you need to know. You can go to their website. It's included here, down here, and interact with the website, see exactly what is there, because I've not really given you enough information. So when I talked to the different professors when I was doing the application, they told me that in order to get this scholarship, because I tried doing application, like starting the application system immediately when they open in October. And I tried to go to talk to the different professors, see their interests, like these professors in these different universities. There are professors for physics, for math, for engineering, for social sciences, for everything. So you got to look for the professor of your interest, and you look at his research interests. What are his research interests? What is he hoping to research about? And then you write him an email, a very good email. Tell him about yourself and why do you like to be part of his group or her group. I think that's something they will not tell you anyway. Or you ask him why you want to be part of his group, or you talk about the skills you have as a person. Which skills do you have? Like if you want to go to this area, maybe you can say, like for me, you can say, I am good in MATLAB programming, something like that, or I'm good in this, something like in your area, that those skills that you have, and you write them down. And then you ask the professor that I want to be part of your research group. So that if the professor gives you maybe an acceptance letter or something like that, it increases your chances of getting this scholarship. But when I interacted with these different professors, they told me what is really required to get this scholarship. Firstly, you have to have gotten a first, because this scholarship is very, very competitive. Very, very competitive. And people from all over the world are competing for it. So they told me these were the requirements. First of all, if you have a first class at your bachelor's degree, from a first university ranking, like for us in Uganda, maybe have Makerere University. It's a first university in our country, and its ranking in the world is good. So, and then you look at the CGPA. If there are people here who have those good CGPA, you look at it and you're like, you cry even. And also if you have like the position in your class, what was your position in your class when you're applying, when after completing your bachelor's degree, what was your position? So this is the first. If you have first class in your bachelor's degree, sometimes they don't even look at your master's degree. They'll go with your bachelor's because they'll think this kid was bright way back, you know. So the second merit, it will be the publication. If you don't have the first one, they'll take the second one. So you have publications, at least 2 publications in Q1 or Q2 journals, where you're the first author, second, or corresponding author. So that is it. That's what the professor told me. But for me, I was not able to pass all this because I don't have first class. You all know physics is so hard. You can't, to get a first class is like 2 people or 3. So I was not among those 2. So, and then for the publications, my publications were not yet out, so I couldn't like use them. But if there is someone who has all this, you can use this chance, do the applications next year, and you get the scholarship, and you live a good life, you know. Yeah. So that's it for today. Thank you for attending.
Well, thank you, Alice. Thank you for the good presentation. As we wind up, briefly, let me just give more light to the CSC program, and then maybe we shall wind up with the questions. Briefly on the CSC program, that is China government scholarships. Many presenters have talked about it. Many of them come from here then to go to other countries. However, I want to tell you the truth right now. According to my research, or according to what I know, things are trying to change. The past years, it has been very much easier to enter China. But ever since past the COVID era, it's now difficult. Schools are starting to really take good quality because each and everyone will come in. Someone even asked here a question, can someone from Senior 4 come in? Really, that shows that there must be loopholes. Or he heard somewhere that someone here in Senior 4 came in to study or to do a bachelor's degree here. But first things first, things are changing. And I don't know if I'm audible. Am I audible so that I can go on?
Yes, PP audible.
Yes, you are.
Okay. Yeah, sorry about that. I just wanted to confirm. Things are really changing. First of all, time. The time has changed. The time for these scholarships has really changed. Last time we used to be around this time still applying for these scholarships, but time now is really changing. Right now, it starts from December to lately February. So now it's only 1 month to 2 months, and more qualifications, more requirements are needed. They are adding on more requirements to these scholarships, the CSC scholarships. CSC scholarships, I know we much know, all of us much know about the CSC scholarships. These are government scholarships, and they have 3 types. We have type A, type B, type C. Type A, it's that from you apply via the embassy or the Ministry of Education. That is type A. So this is a mutual or a bilateral relationship between the Chinese government and the Ugandan government. That is for the type A. However, to some extent, it's not so competitive because most people don't know about it. Most people go for type B. But those who are in the system, as we know, as we say back home, Gambanogo or whatever, where these scholarships are there, and we have a lot of slots that are not used up because people don't know. The bad thing with our people, if someone is told if someone wants to study, let's say in China, He doesn't even do research about it, how to go about it. You just need someone there, please do this. Someone just even ask you money that is not even needed. You get, yet these things are, some of them are free to apply for. But these scholarships are published on the Ministry of Education websites, newspaper. When time comes, they do publish. The Chinese government puts in a publication through the Ministry of Still Education, then there you can apply. But time now has changed. Right now we are going to the USA settings by around like April or February, sorry, April to July. Someone knows if he has already what? Acquired a scholarship, or if he has already been given a scholarship. For example, I would say right now, those who had applied for CSC type A via the embassy, not via the schools. Schools now are still taking on. Some schools are closed, but those who applied for type A via the embassy, if you go back to your portal, if you go back to the website of the scholarship, the CSC, you will see now applications are on a progress. And what does it mean? If you check your application isn't on a progress by this time, I think, I wouldn't say, but I think you would need to pray more. But if it's on a progress right now, at least you have 50 to 60 chances of being given in any school that you had applied to. Right now, they have just changed. It's just like within a month, things are changing, like applications on a progress, the schools are reviewing, schools have started emailing. That used to be before, it used to be around August, September most. That's when we used to know that you're given scholarships. But things are changing. So you need to plan, as the earlier speakers talked about the time. You need to plan. We Ugandans, I think, China is our home. I think China is, being of the mutual grounds or the mutual relationships we have with China. China is another African country home. But if we don't use this opportunity, yet things haven't changed that much, we are losing it out. Someone comes to you to apply for a scholarship. He just had someone is in China studying, but he wants to apply. You ask him, okay, you want to apply. What do you want to apply for? I also don't know. Some of them are interested in schools. Some of them are interested in locations area. I want to be in Beijing. I want to be in Guangzhou. I want to be in business center areas. Yet it's the different case here. To me, what I know, to my experience, what I know, if you want to have peace in China, if you want to have peace, and mostly if you want a bachelor's level, please ignore these best schools. Because when it comes to bachelor's, it comes with the language. Right now, even before we go to the language, HSK has changed. It has changed. Things are changing. Like before, I remember you need someone just doing bachelor's needed HSK level 4 to come. But right now, even if you're going to do master's, even if you're going to do PhD, they will first put you for a language here. So someone back home, if you plan early that I want to come to China, if you say to yourself, we have a Confucius Institute in Makerere, you can just at least acquire a few knowledge, at least be with an HSK 3, so that you don't come here in total mess. Because coming from 0 to HSK 5, it is really hard work and effort. If some of us have been here but cannot even do HSK 3 or 2, and they have been in China for 8 or 20 years or 10 years, they can't do that HSK. So yet you want to study in Chinese and you have to do their HSK. About the preparing time, you need to start early because time has really changed. By at least February, or sorry, not February, by at least October, November, at least set the requirements. I'm not sure that I know most of you are on CSC, most of you have requirements for these scholarships, but year to year things come in and new adjustments come in. Right now, I'll give a general requirement, a list of general requirements that we have. I think you're noting down. right now you need to have your previous academic papers. Let's say that those who are applying for either bachelor's, master's, PhD, have your documents, academic documents, put them in colored. Put them in colored. Someone sends in a document, like it's very lousy. The printers back home are, I don't know, they are so dark, they are putting lines in. Someone won't really, you, even someone giving you something or a scholarship, we just laugh at you and say you unserious. So try to scan each and every document you have in colored. Right now you need an interpolator. Way back it used not to happen, like we just came in like, but right now we need it. And applying for an interpol, it goes for, I think, 6 or to 3 months to get that thing if you don't use the other ways we try to. But if you want to apply for a scholarship, you have to plan for that. You have to plan for the later, then you have to have a passport in place. Then the study plan. These days they have increased. Last time it used to be 1,000 words, now it's 3,000 words. And in the study plan, you need to really, you need to praise these guys, why you want to come to China mostly. What have you heard about China? How did you hear about the scholarship? How did you hear about the school where you want to apply to, or the schools where you want to apply to? What will be the benefit of you after majoring into that course you want to major in? How will it be beneficial to your government or to your country back home? Someone stands in a study plan. I want to, my name's what I study here, my career, what and what. I want to come to China just to study my bachelor's, then after start up a company, then after, then start off my business. You're not benefiting the Chinese government as you, or the government yourself. It might be via revenue, but you need to really entice it to make these people understand why you need these scholarships. Because what I know, scholarships are not given to the wise people. Scholarships are given to people who are creative and innovative. That is the fact. These things of, I have a first class, second class, people are here with just 5 points. People are here with just like, if so long as he has a pass. But would you show that you innovative? Do you show that you want to create more on what you want to study? So we talked about the transcripts. Those are the academic documents. The passport, you have the passport, you have the Interpol, that is the police record letter and criminal record letter. Then the recommendations from your previous schools. For the recommendations, I would urge you more and more and more for people who are applying for CSC scholarships. Please don't just go to a teacher. Don't just go to a teacher. If you have been in a school or a university or an institute, there are those top guys in those schools. They are professors, whereby even a name just appears, professor who, they will just search about the journals or the papers he has published. This will add, or to create more attention for these guys to give you. Because in these schools, these professors want to associate with other professors in publishing. They want to be part of your papers. So it adds marks to them. So please, try to go to the head of your faculties, try to go to those top professors. I know Ugandan people, at times it's hard. It's not like here, everyone is now a professor, everyone is a doctor. It's easy to reach or to access them, but try as much as you can. Then the other thing, this is, by the way, it's it's about the most recommendation letter that since it's a scholarship part type A mutual benefit, like, do you have that recommender inside the mutual benefit within the government, like to recommend you? Is it from the Ministry of Education? Yes, if you can attain or attach a recommendation letter from the Ministry of Education. You see here, when you people are being set off, you see JJ Muyingo, or is it the name? Muyingo something, is called to the Chinese embassy to set off scholars who are going to Chinese to study. So if you happen to attach a recommendation letter from the ministry. Let it be your chancellors, these chartered universities. Those recommendations really can help you gain this scholarship. Then the other thing, try as much as you can, at least have an HSK3. For those who want to study in Chinese, try to start practicing Chinese, because man, when you come here, things have changed. We used to have HSK3, 4, and 5 to those who are going to do maybe medicine, more of engineering. But right now, HSK words are changed. The one that used to be 3, it's now 4. So it's extended. Those who used to do 4, it's like the level of 5. Now, I hear now some of you have to do HSK, mostly those on bachelors, they have to do HSK 6. And doing HSK 6 here, man, it's really a big, those are efforts. But these scholarships are really available, and the chances to have them, it's Chinese. If you know Chinese, you get all the scholarships you can want. If you know Chinese, and chances are higher, those who apply to study in Chinese to get. Yeah. So the type B, those who are in schools, if you have friends, if your school, start from your school type B, then apply. Chances are high, however much they are so competitive. So I would urge more, please, let's not be proud. Ugandans, we are so proud. Ugandans, I see school websites, I know guys in different universities, but when I see when an activity has happened in a school, they are nowhere to be seen. You know, international students are paraded, given photos, put in these activities. But if you know Ugandan there, you call him, man, I saw your school advertised, you had a cultural event. I didn't see you. Man, I don't attend such things. Man, I'm too busy. At the end of the day, when towards your graduation, you are the one crying for, I want a scholarship, So these schools won't give you those scholarships if you don't participate in the activities. You might have good marks, but are you participating in these activities? Try to participate more, like those programs they bring in, try to acquire those certificates. Attach them. When you attach them on your personal statement or your application, you have many chances than someone who's applying just with a flat transcript. Because type B, it's more competitive. And to what I know now, they reduced schools. You only need to apply to 2 schools. So of which you might be a Chinese student from bachelor's to master's, or you might be someone back home from a university that isn't even recognized. It's not even known anywhere. The ranking is low, you get. So if someone in that school recommends, because in some portals they do have who has recommended you to this scholarship, let's say Alice, then they will see the profile of Alice. Okay, Alice is a Ugandan here. She's always activative in the programs we said. So you attain more chances. And those who are here still try to just attend for certificates. Attend, because by the end of the day, you will need this scholarship to stay here, because most of us haven't maybe prepared to go back, or most of us have that urge to study more and more. So for the type of type B, it's so competitive, and you need to know the schools that you are applying to, the ranking from your school to the other schools. You get, even type A, when you're applying, you need to be well conversant with the schools you're applying to. Don't put a school of a low ranking in the first place, because if a school of a low ranking, let's say, it takes down, like doesn't accept your application, then these other schools of the best rankings. And don't seek for schools with more rankings, because once you get here, you understand why I say that. You need too much pressure if mostly you're going to study in Chinese. If you don't have that research thing, you really need too much pressure. For those schools, the Pekings, where they need HSK 5, 6 for someone to attain a Chinese class or to attend a Chinese class. So let's aim at schools here. They are best schools. No school here you can rate with back home. Let it be our best university, Makerere. So any school here is a good school. I would believe that. But the thing is, you want to be in a good school, but do you really get that content they will give you? Or are you able to work towards that line of that content? No. The school is going to stress you. Then after you say China, China, just because your decision, you want to be these boys, man, I started from Peking, but at the end of the day, it's you suffering and it's you losing on your career. So about the type C, it can be attained by anyone inside China, so long as you hold a Chinese visa. These come from agents. Those come from agents, but I wouldn't want so much of you people to go into that, because scholarships are here and they are free. And if you communicate, if you contact, we are so preservative, like we don't want to talk about some things. People, we Ugandans, we think that, man, I need to be preservative. That puts us behind. When you come and contact me, I want to apply for a scholarship. I will give you the best I can give you, because I need you. I know one day I'll be out of China. I'll just recommend you to someone. But if you try to do things slowly in your own way, like hiding out, I don't need these guys to even know that I'm applying, you will find a mistake. You even apply to schools that where we are right now. We don't want some people to be here. Because I have colleagues that have come to me like, man, I need this, but I would give him the knowledge and I tell him, yes, I'm in this school, but according to what I see here, man, things are so tight to live here. But I know of schools where people survive, people learn, and people benefit, and people graduate. There are schools where no Black student has ever graduated. They are there. There are schools where they give you a graduation transcript with a word not graduated. With these Chinese, they will assemble you, put you in gowns, take photos, but on the graduation certificate, it shows not graduated. And most of them don't know just because they don't study Chinese. You will just see it when you're going to notarize your documents. You will see if it's translated now, not graduated. You say, why? Why would these people even align me, give me a certificate, take photos of mine? Because they are marketing their websites. So you know where you want to go. Top schools are so hectic. You need to be a serious student. Because some people think China is for people who are there. Okay, you come, you try. But if you want to be somewhere, if you really want to focus on your career, come to the school where you know that you will survive. Talk to people around. We have a lot of people here. We have Alice, we have Collins, we have Timothy, we have all these people are graduates here, but they have already applied for schools, and schools are even emailing them, when are you coming? You see, they haven't even graduated, but the way they are organized. So don't keep it to yourself. Share with others. Try to share. People will educate. Knowledge is power. If you acquire, or if you seek knowledge, you acquire what you need to know. Then what haven't I talked about? I think it's that there is a requirement now, it's more needed, the English certificate of proficiency. Now, most universities do ask for that later, but for us, we can bypass it in a way. You write your former school, that is back home, write to it, telling them, oh, you can come to me, I'll give you a copy, or you can address like they want an English proficiency certificate. They can address to the university that you've been studying your majors or your classes in English, you're capable of understanding and doing everything in English, and they put it on a headed paper, they stamp it, then they forward it to their email, or they forward it to you when they come to ask about the English certificate or what, because most of us didn't do these English language certificates. Then the other thing is about, I think that is all. About the MOFCOM scholarships. MOFCOM, it's cancelled in East Africa, is it? I think it's cancelled now. If not East Africa, Ugandans, we disqualified from these scholarships, I think so. So we can't apply for MOFCOM. So no one should lie to you that I'm applying for you a MOFCOM scholarship. It had some big benefits coming with a ticket every semester to go back home or to go where you want to go. But it's cancelled. We no longer We are no longer allowed. I don't know what happened, but we are no longer allowed. But for any class, so long as the Ugandan government has recognized you that you passed, you are eligible to study from here. But know what you want, because these things of acquiring scholarships year to year, at the end of the day, it's you wasting your time. Know what you want to, and know what you want, where you want to be. I always recommend people, if you're applying for scholarships, or if you are applying for further studies, if you have been a bachelor student, that is good. That is almost 6 to 5 years in China, studying in Chinese, because CS is almost about Chinese. It will be so much to first take a break, like 3 or 2 months in that period of applying. If you start early and you program yourself, and if possible, if you have the money, try to go back home, study the environment, come back when you're refreshed, then proceed. But it's too dangerous to be here, masters, bachelors, PhD, and you think you cope up with the situation back home. It's really difficult. Yeah, I think that's it. I think I haven't left out anything, but official website for scholarships, go to our websites, go to the USAC website. The information is there. The CSC scholarship information is there, and the website is there. The agency number is always the same, it doesn't change. You go there and you check it out yourself, but prepare so fast because things are changing, and they are really changing. Right now, applications are on progress. I think by April, some of those who applied will know where to go, or if given or not given. Yeah, I think that's what I had for today.
Okay, thank you, VP. Can I just in 2 seconds before either VP or Alice, Mr. Timothy is back, I think. I just wanted to show how the Erasmus Mundus thing is, because many people are directly contacting me here about Erasmus Mundus. Is it okay? I just share the page and then.
Yes, it is okay. You can go on and share your screen.
Okay, I'm just going to share my screen, and I've posted the link down there. I posted my number also. The second one, the first one is wrong. The second one of 8615 239 3172. It's the one that is number. Please contact when you have something about scholarship. I'll be very welcome to talk to you and guide you about scholarship, assistantship. Then if I share the page, this is the Erasmus Mundus. Can you see? VP.
Yes. Yeah,
This is the Erasmus Mundus program. It is available for everyone. It has many courses. Either you're a doctor, either you are an engineer, either a teacher. There are many courses as you see them. The Erasmus catalog, 192 courses. So these are the countries you study from. For intelligence, sustainable technology, you study in France, Slovenia, Norway. So this is the outlook of the program. So for example, people who are doing computer science would say, well, I want to do computer science. And so there's applied cybersecurity here. If you want to do law and economics, yeah, you study in Netherlands, France, Spain, Belgium. You may choose like 2, 3, or 4. And then there's also an internship. So you have a chance of traveling from here and there. You're enjoying life as you study, you build social capital, you know? So these are the programs. If you want to do maybe Masters of Law, you click here and then you go and explore what is in the program. I'm just briefly telling you how to. I know it is very hard to navigate the website, but when you enter the page, what is most important is applicant or admission, and you read the admission details, the requirements, and then you start planning in advance. you start planning in advance. Like I did, I told you for a full year, I was planning for such a scholarship and I did everything. The good thing is that if you plan for the best, even if you don't the best, you get the next, you know. If you aim at shooting the moon, if you shoot the stars, you don't regret. So, but if you aim at shooting the stars and you shoot nothing, you'll definitely regret. So aim at the best and don't undermine yourself. Aim at the best. If you don't get the best, you get the next and you'll be happy. But if you aim at the next, you get nothing and then you cry. So here you get, there are many pages. So the good thing about the scholarship, we travel across Europe. Here you study in Finland, United States, United Kingdom, Estonia, Netherlands. So you can, there are filters here. You can filter by country, you can filter by university, you can filter by field of study or year of project. So when you're checking for which course that you want to apply, it is better to know which year did it start. So some of these programs expire. So you may be preparing for a program that already expired, and then you are there writing publication, doing online courses relating to the course when the program expired. So it's better to know which year was it, and then you start planning. For example, how do you know the year? You click on the first link, and then the first link will show you that, okay, this program began in October 2022 and it's ending in November 2028. So then you can apply for this program next year, even after next year. But there are programs that are ending this year. For example, my program is ending this year. So we are the last people that are going to be funded. So someone will apply next year, work hard for it. You will not get it because it will be expired, because these people get funding every year. New programs come in and out, come in and out. So go, I've posted the link there, go through the programs. I've said you can filter by country, but don't filter by country because you have no choice. It's better to filter by study. How do you filter by study? You come here and select, are you in art? Are you in chemistry? Are you in economics? Are you in education, environment, history, information science, IT, law, life science, BD, mathematics? All courses are here. So you filter. But then the other things, don't aim at only this. Most of these programs are highly intensive and they combine many programs. So it is better to read through and know which programs. They can accept anyone from, if it is education, they'll accept anyone from social sciences, from development studies, from, so don't limit yourself by the wording. Go deep and analyze what are the essentials, what are the requirements for the program. So don't look at the word and get scared, no. Go through the page and read the requirements and then start planning as early as possible, you know. You can stand the chance of getting these scholarships. So the next thing is, if you're in Uganda, please, it's time to wake up, get a passport. Someone calls you, I want to travel abroad, says, I don't have a passport. Are you going to fly? Yeah? So you are not going to use a boat that they will not need a passport. So get a passport, start planning one by one, do IELTS, look for professors, start the journey. It is hard, but at the end it is rewarding, you know? Yeah, so you get chance of traveling to about 4, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then all this, you are put in a set of 20 people from different, all over the world. And then you travel, you build social capital, you enjoy the money is too much. The stipend is really interesting. And then there's, after studying, yeah, the jobs, 70% of the people that finish Erasmus Mundus get jobs in international company within 7 months. So everything is highly intensive and worth a try. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Collins. To add on, I had forgotten about something about the CSC scholarships. CSC scholarships are sensitive on age. Bachelor's, it's 25 minimum. Sorry, it's maximum 25. Then from masters, you can't apply when you're 35 and above. PhD, 40 and above, or 45 to some schools. PhD, it's 40 to 45. So program yourself. program your aging. If you see you aging, when you back home, you can set up a course and finish it earlier, then that can make you start a master's here. Because I know most of people just run to masters because here the age limit is a bit down. 25 for bachelors, 30 to 35 for masters. So PhD, it's a bit, can go to 40 to 45. So age limit is here. However much you have the best qualifications, but the age can limit you. I that's what we had today. I don't know if the MC is still around.
I am back.
Okay, it's good.
Yes. I'd like to thank all the speakers that we've had today, from Mr. Richard to Mr. Collins, to Miss Alice, to Mr. Nicholas. Thank you very much. And I want to thank you all for attending this, this program. And I hope you have learned something. There are so many opportunities out there, and we live in a global world. So go out there, apply to as many as you can. You know, I love what he has said. You just have to maximize all your chances. You know, don't limit yourself. And the one thing that has been recurring in this is that preparation is key. You have to be with adequate preparation. So you have to take the extra mile to achieve what you want. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining in. We're at the end of our program. And yeah, we'll be taking a closing prayer and we can leave. I will lead the closing prayer. Heavenly Father, we want to thank you for all the people who have spared their time to come and share with us on the different ways on how to apply for scholarships and to get these different opportunities in these different countries. We pray, Heavenly Father, that you may bless them. And we pray, Lord God, for favor for anyone who's planning to apply. We pray, Lord God, that we may use wisdom. We may use, you may lead us in all things that we are doing. And Heavenly Father, in all things that we do, may we be successful. We thank you. We glorify your name. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen. 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 Thank you very much for joining in. Have an amazing week and have an amazing month. And yeah, just like we've already said, if you want, I think they already shared their contacts. If you want to contact them, their contacts are still in the chat box. In the chat, get their contacts and email them or text them and they'll help you out. Yeah, thank you. Have a good night. Or good morning, some people, or good afternoon for other people. Goodbye.